They call him the fastest man alive.
Take it away!
On account of the overwhelming popularity when it came to the $7 CPU video, which you can check out in the card above me, I've decided to move on to a graphics card, and in this case I have found, after hunting for hours upon hours, an NVIDIA G210. Now this card is not powerful by today's standards or even the standards during the time at which this card was released. It comes equipped with 512 megabytes of GDDR2, not GDDR5, a 64-bit memory interface, and 16, count them, 16 CUDA cores. Yeah. So this card is not powerful now, and it wasn't powerful back then, but can it still run games that existed around the time that this card was released? So I'm talking about games specifically like Counter-Strike, Minecraft, and Crysis, all of which are not very GPU intensive today, but could result in some massive graphics card bottlenecks if the graphics card becomes too weak, which I believe will be the case in this case. So that's it, those are the 3 games I'm going to try. I'm also going to throw some modern AAA titles at the 210 just to, even see if they run. But worst case, we will have 3 titles from around the time that this card was released to test with, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and swap the cards out and see what happens. So what I'll be doing is throwing this 210 into the rig behind me, swapping that out with the card that's currently in there. The CPU is a Xeon 1230V5, which is a 4-core 8-thread processor, and it is currently overclocked to 4.4 GHz using the base clock method. And we're also running 2 4GB sticks of DDR4, currently clocked to 2133 MHz. GTA 5, I was actually able to run the built-in benchmark, which was something I wasn't able to do on the $7 CPU build, but I had to keep everything literally turned down all the way, and I had to run the game at a resolution of 800 by 600, hence the very small window there. Another thing I should mention is the fact that GTA 5 has a minimum VRAM requirement that exceeds what is offered by the 210. The game required about 800 megabytes of VRAM, but this card of course only offers 512 megabytes of it, which I believe cut into our frame rates more than what we would have seen had we had sufficient amounts of VRAM, around 1 gig or so. As for Minecraft, well, subpar I think is the word that best describes the experience. We were hovering around 18 FPS the whole time. Needless to say, I wouldn't recommend this graphics card, even for a game like that. One thing that was cool and noteworthy, however, was the fact that when I conducted the TNT detonation test with just a single block of TNT and then 27 blocks stacked against each other, the detonations of those TNT blocks really did not result in a severe frame rate dip, and that, I believe, is because of the fact that the CPU was pulling a lot of the weight in that case. So those kinds of explosions in Minecraft do take a toll on the CPU, and I've proven that in the video in the card above me, but it was cool to see the CPU actually stepping in and kind of taking things over during those specific scenarios in the game. Lastly, Crysis. Can it run Crysis? That answer is no. The game would open up and I was able to kind of move around a little bit, but I quickly ended the experience because it really wasn't all that great of an experience. And when you compare Crysis to something like CSGO, Crysis is more intensive, but I didn't think it was that much more intensive. Just goes to show you why that question has so much meaning even today. Can it run Crysis? That answer is, again, no. Do I recommend this card? The short answer is no. The long answer is no, not under any circumstance, and let me tell you why. If you wanted to purchase a card right now with a similar form factor and price that's also much more powerful, you could purchase, for example, the GT710. Now, this card isn't going to allow you to play GTA 5 at 1080p maxed out settings at 60 FPS, but what it will do is allow you to play some of those older games without many hitches whatsoever. You will be able to surf the web, watch YouTube videos in 1080p 60 FPS, no problem. That card I do recommend if that's all you plan to do with your PC, but this card right here, I do not recommend. At all. Goodbye. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you thought the content was cool and unique. Give it a thumbs down if you hate everything about live. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more tech-related content here on the channel, and just more sciencey stuff in general to kind of bolster our name a bit. This is Science Studio. Thanks for learning with us.
Oh, hey guys, it's me.